Yeah, hi YouTube. We're going to do a video today on the Firefly GSG. For those of you that have had this pistol, it's a 22 long rifle. There's been some issues in regards to the gun fully operating and, failure to feeds, failure to ejects and such. So today, for those of you that have made efforts to rework the bolt mechanism, there's two small parts that are very easy to lose and to misplace. And what we're going to cover in the video today is the fix for that so that you don't have to reorder those parts and or replace them. It's a very simple fix, and we're going to cover that in the video today. Okay, so what I'm gonna show you right now is the manual. This is for the Firefly, the GSG. GSG stands for German Sport Guns, and this is the company, and it's imported by ATI, American Tactical Institute, I believe is what it stands for. So what I'll do is I'm going to turn the camera around, show you the parts that we're talking about, and then we'll get right into the fix that I've come up with that allows you to not have to replace the retent ball, which is tiny, and the retent spring, which will make it just real easy for those of you that have worked on the bolt to smooth out various parts and such. So we'll go to that now. Thanks. Okay, so this is the manual for the GSG Firefly, and what we're going to be talking about are three parts. So it's part number 30 and 31. So it's the spring for the safety lever and then the ball for the safety lever, and these are located on page 23 of the manual. Now the other part is part number 46, which is the safety lever on the left side. So I'm going to flip the page and show you the diagram. You can see, and I'll move it right up under the camera here so you can easily see it. So the three parts that we're talking about are 31 and then part number 30, and those fit into a very small hole in the inside of part 46, which is the left side safety lever. So when those parts are lost or misplaced, what essentially happens is the safety lever becomes very loose and floppy, so the gun is not able to fire. And so what ends up happening is the safety lever just kind of dangles down. It doesn't stay up in the fire position. And what we're going to cover today is just a simple, easy, quick fix to that that I came up with so that you're not having to order the parts directly from ATI. And it seems to work really well, and it keeps the safety in a nice tight position in the firing position so that the gun will still operate smoothly and safely without any issues. Okay, so what we're going to do now is I'm going to show you that the gun is safe. The chamber is empty. There's no magazine in the weapon, and so full safety check there. Now, what I want to show you here is this is the safety where I've put the small washer in there and increased the friction and the tension. So without the detent pin, which is part number, or the detent ball, part number 30, and then part number 31, which we talked about earlier, you can see that when I rotate the safety, it's actually pretty tight, and it stays up there with a lot of tension. You have to really, firmly push it to get it back into the safe position. So what'll essentially happen here is that the gun's going to operate in the fire position, and the safety will stay there. It won't flop down, despite the fact that it's missing the detent spring and the detent ball that fits right underneath this safety lever. So I'll go ahead and disassemble it now. I'll show you the piece that I put in there that increases the tension and lets the gun operate if you misplace or lose those two parts. All right, so I've taken out the left side safety screw. The only issue, I don't know what size Allen wrench that this was to remove that screw. It is a fairly small one, but I'm going to go ahead and pry up the left side safety lever, and then I'm going to show you the part, and I'm going to zoom in here so you can see it. But essentially what it is, it's just a small little lock washer, and the safety just fell out on the other side. So the right side safety actually has the bar that's got the threading on the other end for the safety lever on the left side that goes right there. So, but I'm going to show you on this piece here, and it's hard to see really, but if I get it up close, you might be able to see it. But there's essentially a spot where the detent ball and then also the detent spring sits in that left side safety lever. Once those are lost or missing, there's no pressure that's being put on the safety where to keep it in the up position when you're firing. And it's probably really hard to see, you know, here with the camera, but there's a spring, there's a hole where the detent ball goes, and then there's also a spot for the spring that goes in there. So essentially, if you're taking it apart, and it's really, unless you have a magnetic dish when you're disassembling it, these parts are almost impossible to not lose. So what you can do if you do lose them, you can see here there's a small little lock washer that was put in there, and we'll go ahead and I'll give you the measurements on those, that fits right around the hole for the right side safety lever to come up through, and then puts enough pressure on the left side so that the safety lever stays up in the fire position without dropping down while the slide is cycling back and forth. Okay, so what we have here is we have a mic, and we're going to mic this small washer. And you can see here on the mic that the dimensions are, it's a 0.335 is the outside diameter on the washer. And again, it is a lock washer. I'll tilt it here so you can see it's a lock washer. And then I'm also going to give you the inside diameter measurements as well. Okay, so the inside diameter measurements on this small lock washer are 0.210. So 0.210, and that's the lock washer that's fitting around the hole on the left side, around the right side safety. So we'll go ahead, the rod that comes through off the safety mechanism, this will fit right over that inside. So we'll go ahead and put it back together. So the right side will go in. We'll place the lock washer around where the left side goes. Place the left safety lever down and get it around the rod. We'll get the screw back in there. These screws also are pre-filled with Loctite on them. So if you feel the need to use Loctite, you're going to want to replace that with blue Loctite, not the red. The red will be too strong. Go ahead and snug this up. And that's a little bit too tight. What's nice about the lock washer, it really gives you some flexibility versus the detent ball and spring. You can really adjust what kind of tension you want to have on your safety lever. So that's still a little bit too tight. I'm gonna go ahead and loosen that up a little bit more. That lock washer really grabs in there. So we'll back this off a little bit more. Okay, so there we got it. So it's nice and firm. It's not gonna be dropping down while the gun's firing. We'll go ahead and wrap the slide here, and then we'll go ahead and decock it, and then we'll put it back on safe. And that's perfect. I might even make it up. I might snug it up just a little bit more. Yeah, that's nice and firm now. So just a quick, simple, easy fix, a real cheap part that you can buy at any hardware store, a simple little small lock washer that fits right around the right side safety bar and underneath the left side safety lever, and you're good to go. You don't have to replace the detent spring and ball and buy those parts, and your gun will still function just fine, and it will operate safely. Thanks for watching, and appreciate a thumbs up if this was any assistance or help to you. Have a great day.